Good afternoon. My name is Brian Grimkowski. I'm one of the assistant directors of graduate admissions here at William Paterson University. I'm joined here by Dr. Louie, who is going to be speaking at length about our MSN program in just a few moments, as well as my colleague Christina Aiello, who is our liaison for the College of Science and Health. And we are here to give you hopefully a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time. We are very sensitive to the fact that time is perhaps even more precious than ever before with everything going on and so much uncertainty and schedules being so unpredictable. So we thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us. And whether you need to get back to work obligations, virtual learning for children, whatever the case may be, we want to get you back and doing the things that you need to do and get the information that you need. We are going to be recording this presentation in its entirety. I mention that because if for some reason you need to leave a few minutes early, you miss a couple slides, or if there's helpful information here that you want to refer back to at a later date when it's convenient for you, you can expect an email before the end of the week from our office that'll have a direct link to our YouTube channel where we'll house the recording from this presentation. So wanted to make sure you knew that as well. Lastly, if you have any questions as we go through, you can type them in the chat box on the GoToWebinar screen there. If it's something quick and simple, admissions related, something that we can answer for you, we'll do so and type an answer quickly. If it's something that would be a benefit to the full audience, we'll read it off. On the tail end of the presentation, we'll have Dr. Louie field your questions. So certainly, I know you are not here to listen to me talk away. You want to hear about what Dr. Louie has to say about our program. So Dr. Louie, take it away.
Very much. I am so glad that I have this opportunity to speak to you about our Master's in Science and Nursing program. We've been in the business, as you say, at William Paterson University for over 20 years. And we recently just added a fully online program. So we have what we call an on-ground, or that's the term we're using, you come to class. Most of the time, not every class is fully on ground, but it's the kind of learner that you are. And then we have this fully online 7-week course. So you have to, if you live outside the state or in South Jersey, of course, the online program would be appropriate for you. But let me just move on with my slides and we can continue. Oh, hold on, sorry. My slides don't seem to want to move. Is there something I'm not doing correctly? Sorry.
Dr. Louie, if you go down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see some arrows pop up. You can click there with your mouse, the left or
oh yeah, but okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, I'm sure you can read this. I'll speak to these slides. I have a tendency, my slides to be wordy, but the master's program in nursing has 4 tracks or concentration. This is the adult Gero NP, the family NP, the nursing education, and the nursing administration track. Our master's program is accredited by CCNE. It's one of actually 2 accrediting nursing organizations for another 10 years. We just finished a 10-year review. We also have what we refer to as a postmasters, adult Jerry NP, and a family nurse family. That's if you have a master's program, you say, hey, listen, I want to be back at the bedside. So we have a program. We also have a doctorate of nursing program, which has also been accredited for another 10 years. Okay. You probably want to know, how do I get into the program or this program? Everything is online now. You need to go to our William Paterson website. Probably you've been on it. There's an online application that you fill out. The application fee is $50. Because it's an NMS program, we need your baccalaureate transcript. And we do require a GPA graduate point average of 3.0, which is a B average. If you happen to have a less than a 3.0, please contact me, and there's contact information at the end. We realize that you should not be defined by your GPA, but there were probably circumstances. We do require, which most programs in the BSN also have courses in statistics, health assessment, and nursing research, because we build upon these courses. We do require a resume. It could be a 1-page resume. All nurses should have a resume in which we want you to include 2 names of references. It could be a former faculty or a current manager or supervisor. We do not need letters of references, but 2 names which should be included on your resume. And we require a minimum of a year of RN working experience because you're going to be talking with other nurses in the program. Let's see. Whoops, that went backwards. I'm sorry. I usually can do this quite well. As far as the application deadlines, we are recruiting currently for our spring semester. The deadline pretty much is December 1st. Sometimes I know what has held up some applications is requesting transcripts. So find out if your school does the electronic, which is sent directly to graduate admissions, or by mail. But that sometimes can take a little longer. So the deadline for spring, which we are currently recruiting for, is December. Let's see what I have here. Oh, you must, of course, as part of the admission requirements, have your RN license, must be active. There should not be any attachments to that. Let's see. And again, as I mentioned earlier before, if your GPA is less than a 3.0, please contact me. We will talk about that. Obviously, if you're missing statistics for some reason, if you graduated with your BSN, let's say 15 years or so, they may or may not have had statistics. You need to fulfill these prerequisites. We will admit you to the program, but you will have to make up that course. All right. As I mentioned earlier before, there are 4 tracks, majors, I guess, concentrations. I guess each school calls them a little bit differently. And what you see in this particular slide is how many credits each of the programs. There are different required courses. We believe, for instance, the nursing education track is 35 credits, and this would enable you upon graduation to take the certified nurse educator certification. It's not required, obviously, but we feel that the track courses or that we offer will get you to that point. Nursing administration track is 31 credits. The adult gerontology nurse practitioner in primary care, we don't have an acute care program yet, is 39 credits. And the family nurse practitioner program is 47 credits. And you'll see some of the names of the courses. They won't, I don't ask you to memorize them, but I do want to let you know that there is some rhyme and reason how we have designed the graduate program. All nursing majors take these, well, the first 4 courses, which is the very beginning course, is the theoretical foundation for nursing. And then you'll see the role of the APN, population health, legislation, and social policy. These are what we call graduate core courses, which includes the nursing research course. So most of the nurses that we have in our program currently are part-time because they're working full-time. Generally, they do have some kind of tuition assistance from their institution. Some do. A majority seems to, but not all. So they're either taking 1 course or 2 courses. We prefer that you move along with 2 courses a semester. Our on-ground program, as I mentioned, is 15 weeks, your regular fall, spring, summer, whereas in our online, fully online courses, each course is 7 weeks. So you would wind up taking 2 courses in what we would refer to as a regular semester. Whereas on the on-ground, you would just take the 2. I hope I'm not just being a little confusing. We just added that program. The courses in this curriculum where you see 6041 and then these other courses, 7252, those are our clinical courses. There is another clinical course depending on which track you're in. All right. For the nursing education admin track, 604 is not required. Just all right, now we're getting it a little bit more. I mean, again, these slides will be up on because it's being recorded, just to give you a flavor that the nursing administration track, as I said earlier before, I believe I said is 31 credits. So this, after you take the core course, the graduate core courses, you go into the specialty courses, healthcare data analytics, principles of nursing administration, financial management, and the role practicum. What is unique about our nursing administration track is that we have 9 credits from the College of Business, and these are the MBA courses. So some administrators I've been hearing not only are interested in the MSN, of course, if you take these courses, it's part of the MSN program. But in the future, if you say, oh, you know, I'm finding that I probably need an MBA, then you've already ahead of the game by coming into our MSN program. In our nursing education courses, besides the graduate core courses, the theory, the research, these are the additional courses you would be required to fulfill. And again, as I mentioned before, it adds up to 35 credits. What you're going to see uniquely so is in our nursing education program, we have the 3 Ps: advanced patho, advanced health assessment, and advanced pharmacology. These are the courses that our NPs also take. So the accreditation body in which we're under feels that our nurse educators not only are excellent in the role of teaching in a variety of settings, academic institutions, in service, what have you, that we also feel, they also feel, in which we're under, that you also will have advanced knowledge in the clinical side. By taking patho, you're going to be sitting side by side with an NP student in patho, health assessment, and pharmacology. And then we have our specialty education courses, the 3 of them: curriculum development, classroom teaching, and clinical teaching strategies. In the 6061, this one, which is a 4-credit course, we will, there are 45 hours where you will be with one of our faculty, generally an undergraduate faculty, teaching, assisting in some way in that. So you're learning sort of on the job, as it were, too, in that particular course. In our AGNP primary care courses, again, what you see here is the patho, the health assessment, pharmacology, and then we have 2 specialty courses. This is again the adult GERO specialty, the 6111 to 6121, which goes from a systems perspective, diagnosis and management, and the clinical course 7011, which all of our clinical courses, separate clinical courses, are 170 hours, which is 4 credits. In our family nurse practitioner, you'll see it again. They're going to take advanced patho. Because in the family, you're also looking at the adult, but then you separate into the child and postpartum. But you'll see the 3: patho, health assessment, pharmacology. Then you see the 6111, which you saw on the adult, 6121 also. And the specialty FNP courses begin at the 6130 level. It's just to show you, and again, you don't need to memorize any numbers or any courses, but that the family nurse practitioner program obviously has more credits than the adult. I have had students that went into the family program and said, you know what, I don't think I don't have any experience with pediatrics. I'm not really particularly interested in pediatrics. May I switch to the AGNP? Of course you can switch concentrations. I have students who are in the AGNP or started in the AGNP and said, you know what, I really, really wanted to go into, so you just sign a change of concentration form. So, and then you, as you can see, that the courses are pretty much similar in both programs. I do want to mention, I don't know if anyone on the line has a master's degree, maybe in administration, maybe in informatics, health policy, education. I've had a variety. You already have a master's. We can't give you another master's, as it were. So you would have you would be eligible if, let's say, you're interested in coming back and into an AGNP program. You missed the bedside, so you would apply as a postmaster's certificate students, of which we have the same 4 tracks. I've had nurse practitioners who said, you know, I really love administration. So they would take the administration courses in the postmaster's cert, and so on and so on. It tells you there, if you could read that. And of course, if you do come in through the postmaster cert, because you already have a master's degree, you would be eligible for the national certification exam. In New Jersey, if you are in the NP tracks, you need to, and you want to obviously practice as an NP, you would have to take and pass the national certification exams. There are two, basically the ANCC, which is out of the American Nurses Association, or the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. Either or, depending, usually many of our nurses are either in a magnet institution, so they take the ANCC certification exam. If they're not, then you would take the other one, or both. I've had people take both. Don't know why. As I mentioned earlier, course delivery, what I meant by that is that we have either an on-ground, which is either partially online, face-to-face, or hybrid, which could be online and face-to-face. Some of our courses lends itself that way, offered in a traditional 15 weeks, in which you can enroll in 1 or 2 courses. And then we have our fully online program, which are obviously offered in 7-week terms, I guess, rather than semester, usually 1 week off in between, and that goes throughout the year. Our on-ground program also offer courses spring, summer, and fall. There are limited courses offered on the on-ground in the summer, not every course. And also with the online, we don't have all the courses you could select for. You would move more in what I call a cohort. Because the online, you would all start together, let's say fall 1, that's the first 7 weeks. Fall 2 would be after a week break, another 7 weeks. So you have to choose the one that best fits you as far as your learning style, your work schedule, and your family responsibilities. Let me move on. There is some financial aid. Obviously, if you're not able to, or you don't have tuition from your employment, if you're interested in the first item here, the Nurse Faculty Loan Program, the NFLP, this is a federal loan program for only students that are interested in the nurse, if you want to be full-time faculty. Yes, you can, and it lends itself really to the nursing education majors. But if you're a nurse practitioner, you need to go through the nurse practitioner program, and then it's referred to as a loan cancellation program. It's not a grant. We would pay for your tuition every semester, whether you're online or on ground, but for the amount of money that you have obtained, it's like a loan. The William Paterson has become sort of the bank, and enough to pay for your tuition. And upon graduation, if you are interested in teaching full-time or 2 part-time positions, I don't want to go into detail. For every year that you work as a full-time faculty or equivalent, then a certain percentage of the money that you borrowed is canceled, or the term the government's been using is forgiven. How that goes is after the end of the first year, 20% is forgiven. At the end of the second year, you work as a full-time faculty, another 20, the third year, 20. At the end of the 4th year, beginning your 5th, 25%. Okay, so it's cumulative, is forgiven. So a total of 85% of what you borrowed is canceled. I think we understand that word better. And then, you know, what happens after that is you only pay 15% if you go the 5 years. I can give you more information. There are some federal loans that are given to graduate students, but you must have taken 6 credits. You have to fill out the FAFSA. Obviously, you can't fail the course, otherwise you would have to pay that back. What you're looking here is just the current fall 20, spring 21. We don't have anything as far as the credits are concerned. In the on-ground, it's tuition per credit plus a fee, which is $4.25 for a total of $7.46 if you're in state. And if you're out of state, then the total credit per credit is $1,161. I don't have available right now the cost of the online tuition cost per credit. It's a little less. That's all I can tell you. if you need that information specifically, you can either write to me. I just didn't have the website when I put this together available, but it's slightly less than 746. Plus, again, it's online, it's 7 weeks. All right, let's see. Oh, but at the end, I'm sorry. Spoke a little faster, unfortunately, when I do. So I am Dr. Kim Louie, Program Director of the William Paterson program, but also on the on-ground specifically if you're interested in any information. The courses are exactly the same. It's the course delivery. Dr. Cheryl Halama is the MSN online program coordinator. I have her email there. If there's anything specific about the online program or how the courses, so the courses that are offered are slightly different. Then we have Jamie Jennings, who is the program assistant, primarily to the graduate nursing program in general. All right, let me see, and the phone numbers if you want to call. Although most of the staff and faculty are working from a home environment, as you well know, but we are very responsive to emails and to phone calls. That's what I have. I hope you have some questions for me. And I'll turn it over now to Brian. If anyone has put any questions in the chat on anything I've said or have not said. Okay, Brian, it's yours now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Louie. We have had some questions start to come through. If anyone does have any additional questions, I would encourage you to type them in the chat box there, as Dr. Louie had referenced. So the first question is, what is required for a postmaster's FNP for a current adult APN?
Admission requirements? Admission requirements would be, obviously, we would need your master's official transcript. If you also in your baccalaureate transcript, and again, that has to come from the college that you went to, and again, you need a resume, license, and a resume. We do not require at the postmaster's level any references of any sort. No essays. We don't do essays anymore either. So it's pretty at the application fee, of course.
And another question is, someone recently applied to the postgraduate FNP program. They're acquiring their New Jersey license currently. Is their lack of a license prohibiting them from getting into the program? And what is the last day that they have to have their license in hand for spring session 1?
The reason we need the license per se is that the clinical courses, the state Nursing Practice Act, the Advanced Practice Act is a little bit different between various states. So I hope you're referring to the on-ground program per se. But I need to know that you have the license in hand, particularly by the time that you have the clinical, and that you will sign an attestation knowing that you have to have the New Jersey license because our practice acts are different. We can start you with the courses, but we won't be able to do any clinical. So if you're talking about coming in for spring, the deadline application, we have to have some kind of a deadline. It's December 1st. But for instance, if I know that you submitted your payment and you've done that with our Board of Nursing and you have a letter, thank you very much, we have your money and we will be sending out your license in a month or 3 weeks from now. We realize that sometimes there's the shortage of personnel. Then I need to know that it's already in progress, that you've already done that. You may not have the actual physical license in your hand, and I will accept that. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And to go back to the first question, could you elaborate on the coursework for that postmaster certificate?
Oh, I did fail to mention that the courses that a postmaster cert student would take are the same courses our master students would take. Depending on the courses that you have earned in your master's program, let's say, for instance, you graduated as a nursing ed major. There are nursing education master's programs like ours that are requiring students to take health assessment, patho, and pharmacology. Now, if you come into our nurse practitioner program, those 3 courses are required. Of course, you must earn a B or better. If you have a C in any of the patho course or the pharm course, we cannot take that in. That's just a general rule that we don't transfer courses, I guess. If you were a master's student and you happen to take a theoretical foundation course at another school, but you decide not to go to that school or you took it out of state, and if you got a B or better, not a B minus, but a B, then we can transfer that course. If it's equivalent, obviously it's never going to be identical. So for someone who is a postgraduate cert student, we would look at your master's transcript to see if there are courses that are required in our program. It's called a gap analysis. Then we can say, then you only need this course, and this course. So it's very different for every student depending on what your master's program and what courses you took at that time. So it's referred to as a gap analysis, and our lead NP coordinator will look at that and let you know what courses are required. Okay, next question.
And for the online postmaster certificate, are there any in-person classes, or is hybrid ever incorporated in, or is it strictly and 100% online?
Technically, it is asynchronous, meaning that in the 7 weeks that you're in the online program, you don't ever meet virtually. I do have to say, I will add this caveat there. In one of the beginning courses we had, the students requested to meet with the faculty to clarify a particular assignment, and they wanted all to hear the same time. But ordinarily, it is fully online, and it's asynchronous, that you don't meet at a certain time. But that was just maybe a unique situation. But no, it's all online.
Thank you very much. It looks like, at least as of right now, that's it for questions. So I just, oh, wait, we got another question that just came in. There was one student that graduated in 2007. Is there a time limit for courses to potentially be accepted into the program?
I believe, I got to visit, I think 10 years? So, I'll have to look that up. It's one of those policies, 6, 7, I don't know. I'll have to look that up, but somehow 10 rings a bell, but it probably could be slightly shorter than that. As you know, the science changes so much. I mean, even nursing's changed a lot in the last 10 years. Yeah, there is a finite time when we can accept certain courses, particularly anything that involves the sciences. Even best practices, as you know, change. But you could write to me, we could look at that, and I get back to you.
Thank you very much. I believe that's it for questions as of now. So I want to thank everyone most sincerely for taking time out of your schedule, like I mentioned before, to join us today. We really do appreciate it. We hope that this was helpful. If you haven't already, we would encourage you to consider submitting an application, whether it's for our on-campus MSN, our online MSN, our postmaster certificate programs. You'll find them all up as an option on our graduate application, which is how you begin the process. I know the contact information was there for the nursing department. I know they'd be more than happy to hear from you. If you do have specific questions, as well as, you can always reach out to the graduate admissions office at graduate@wpgnj.edu. But from all of us here at William Paterson, thank you so much for your time. Be safe. We hope you enjoy the rest of the week, enjoy the holidays, and if you haven't already, we hope to see your application in the near future. Thank you very much.